And headman about to approach the podium and address the media, so let's head back to Big Ten Media Days at McCormick Place.
2 points per game in addition to shutting out 3 straight opponents. Maryland returns 15 starters from last year's team, including 9 on offense and 5 on defense. Coach, go ahead with an opening statement.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, an honor to be here, be part of the Big Ten Conference. This is one of those events every year that you kind of mark on your calendar, and it means the start of football. You get that feeling in your stomach, and it's about time ready to go, the greatest time of year. And so, we'll all be starting practice here in the coming days, but this day kind of marks that time, at least for me. I just want to take a moment and thank you all for what you do. I think in many ways, as coaches, players, everyone in our sport, we have definitely benefited from the job you all do, the amount of attention and media coverage that we get as a sport, as a conference. It's been amazing and definitely really helped our sport in many, many ways. So I want to thank you for that, and also wanted to say it's good now to be, at least so far in the interviews and things I've been a part of, to talk about football as opposed to satellite camps. It's good to get moving and talking about some things that way and move off that topic. And so today's been great so far. At the University of Maryland, there's a lot of great things going on right now in and around College Park. Our president, Dr. Lowe, has done an unbelievable job of just developing, and there's projects going on. If you drive by our campus, there's cranes and shovels in the ground everywhere you look, and one of the biggest parts of that for us in particular is the Cole project, the Cole Fieldhouse, where it'll be the new home of Maryland football. If anyone who's driven by campus will be there this season, you'll see that's underway, and it's going to house all of our indoor facility and all of our meetings, workouts, where our players will eat, study, everything. It's going to be second to none, state of the art, and so we're really excited about that, and that's a great part for our program. And just when you look at it, our administration, our athletic director, Kevin Anderson, our associate athletic director, Damon Evans, on down, have been unbelievable to me and our staff, our players, throughout this entire transition and kind of the start of a new in our program. And those guys have been incredibly supportive, and like I said, with the facility as well as all the little things going day in and day out in a program. And so I'm extremely excited about the staff we're able to put together. There's been a lot said about it. I think, you look at the experience level of the guys and their accomplishments professionally. I think that kind of speaks for itself, but it only tells a little bit of the story of the group of men we've been able to put together, and guys that are just great people, great family men that relate well with kids and kids on our team and kids in recruiting and their families, and people that are just about the right things. And so I think you're only as good as the people you're around. We've assembled a great coaching staff I'm very excited about, and part of this transition, this process with our players, we've kind of flipped their world upside down and doing a lot of things differently and difficult on them, and I think they've done a tremendous job of responding. We've had a tremendous amount of feedback from our players and just how they've responded and done well. So it's a lot to be excited about for us. The 3 young men we brought here with us today, I think, anytime you have a lot of change, you need leadership to help you see that through, to help put the buy-in and help see that through with doing things differently. And William Likely, Michael Dunn, Jermaine Carter, the guys we brought with us today they're here for a reason, because they've done a great job leading us through that, and it takes great leadership to do that. And so, that's where we're at. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone right over to you. Coach, our first question will be down here on the aisle on our left as soon as the mic gets there.
Okay.
Coach Bill Bender, Sporting News. It seems like right away you've had success recruiting in that D.C. area, and without naming names, obviously, just what's been the key to having that success in a pretty good high school football area?
Yeah, Bill, I think we're very fortunate to be, our backyard, I think, is one of the most talent-rich areas in the country in terms of football recruiting. There's year in and year out, there's great players. There's the guys that are recruited nationally, as well as a depth of players that I really think you can put together a great program with. And so that's obviously been our priority, and we're putting a lot of time and effort into that. And I mentioned our coaching staff earlier. We have a lot of guys on our staff that have great ties and relationships in the area in particular, and our staff's doing an outstanding job, as well as some of the guys we've been able to already recruit and kind of get part of this class, the players are recruiting other players. They're doing a good job recruiting each other. And so, that's what this thing's all about. And there's not a day in our building we don't spend time on recruiting, and in particular in our own backyard. That's a priority for us.
Coach, next question is under the lights on our right.
Hey, Coach, over here. Hello. Teddy Greenstein from the Chicago Tribune. What impact does Under Armour have on your program?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hard one to measure or put in terms to answer. Kevin Plank is a guy that obviously takes a tremendous amount of pride in what he does and what he's a part of, and to see the growth and what he's done with his company is, it's remarkable. I don't think there's been any other company that's grown at such a rate and continues to grow in any line of business or industry. And so he also has a tremendous amount of pride in our program. He's a Terp. He played at Maryland, was a great special teams player, and a guy that went there as a walk-on and earned his scholarship. But just like everything else in his life, he's earned what he's got. I think, most importantly, I think the values of our program are in line with the values of Under Armour. I think that's one of the coolest parts about it. It's a natural bond and allegiance with one another because it's easy. It's what we hold in high regard in our program. He holds in high regard in his program and his business as well. And so I think it makes it an easy go that way. And obviously they're huge for us and have put our program on the map in many ways, and will continue to do that and help us. And he's a valued personal friend of mine as well as to our program.
Floor is open right now if you have a question. Next question, Coach, come on the left side of the room.
Okay.
Ben Axelrod, Bleacher Report. Hey, Coach, not a lot of coaches can say they've coached under both Urban Meyer and Jim Harbaugh. What's it like now to be in the same division as both those guys?
Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my career to work under a long list of great coaches. Those obviously are two of many, and as well as alongside a lot of great coaches. I think, you obviously learn things and take bits and pieces. As coaches, we're always stealing stuff from other guys that we've worked with or for, and so that's been a tremendous benefit for me. And playing in the same conference, I think, is great because there's always going to be focus and attention on what's going on in our conference and the games we're playing in, and those guys they bring the competitive level up as well. And so you talk about how they've changed the landscape of recruiting and just the level of football altogether. I think they've definitely improved that and brought that up in our conference, and that's what you want to be part of. You want to be part of the highest level and with the guys that coach at the highest level, and they definitely stand for that.
Coach, we'll go to our right, beyond the aisle here.
Hey, DJ, Roman Subs with the Washington Post.
Hey, Roman.
Lots made about Will Likely, obviously in the offseason. How important is he for the secondary, and do you see him playing offense at all this year?
Yeah, Will, I think his play on the field, Will's a dynamic talent. He's a dynamic player. He can do so many different things. I think his play probably, speaks for itself. I think that's only scratching the surface with Will to the type of person he is. Will and I have gotten to know each other really well here over the past 7 months. He was one of the first guys I met with and talked to when I got the job and to visit with about, he had a big decision on his plate whether to stay or move on. And obviously, we feel he made the right decision. We're proud of him for that. I think, Will be a guy that has involvement in all three phases of our game for sure. How much and to what, well, those are all decisions we'll make as we work through camp here and decide what's best for our team and what he can handle. But, he's a dynamic guy. I know from coaching the other sideline against Will, one of my biggest concerns or worries was when he had the ball in his hands. And so we definitely want to take advantage of that and use him to the best of our team's ability as much as we can.
Our next question, Coach, will also be same side of the room on the aisle.
Hey, DJ, Daniel Gallen, Baltimore Sun. You've talked a lot about keeping open competition throughout the spring, into the summer, and into the fall. How big of an impact do you see the incoming freshman class having on the dynamic of your team?
A big impact. We're not deciding things or setting things up based on who's a freshman, who's a senior, who's this or that. I mean, it's literally it's a competitive environment every day. We set practice up that way for a reason, and it's you earn what you get, and it's nothing's handed to you. And so the biggest part for me and our freshmen have been there now all summer working with us, and our older guys done a great job embracing them and having them be part of the team. And it's not someone has to pay their dues or put in a certain amount of time before they're part of the team. Or there's none of that. It's just we're all a team. We're here together, and we're going to compete with one another to make each other better. At the end of the day, then get the best guy out there on the field. And so I'm really excited about our freshman class. I think it's a deep class with talent, and it's guys that I know have the right mindset to come in and play and help us, and they're going to have that opportunity, and it'll shake out on the field.
If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get the microphone right over to you. Last call for questions. All right, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, great. Thank you.